Chetan Narula reporting for Cricket World, and my current pit stop is Old Trafford in Manchester, which is the venue for the first semi-final of this 2019 Cricket World Cup. It's India versus New Zealand. It's the men in blue versus the black caps. Two teams which have taken different routes to this semi-final point. India, well, they top the table. Number one ranked side in the world at the moment. They top the table, just the one loss against England. New Zealand, they started off well, got a bit of momentum, benefited from that 1 point against India in the washout at Nottingham. But thereafter, they lost to England, they lost to Australia, they lost to Pakistan. Perhaps a touch lucky to be here in the semi-finals. So what are the three important aspects that we can look up to when considering this first semi-final between India and New Zealand? The first obviously has to do with batting. New Zealand's batting hasn't really clicked. The likes of Martin Guptill, Colin Munro, Tom Latham, they haven't scored enough runs to support the likes of Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor. Williamson has been in superb form. He's been the mainstay of this New Zealand batting, which is to be expected really. But here's a statistic for you. New Zealand, apart from Afghanistan, are the only side that has not scored 300 in this tournament. India, well, they've scored 300 quite a few times. They're backed up by Rohit Sharma, who has a world record 500s in this World Cup alone, 6 overall in all World Cup tournaments. He had one in 2015 in Australia as well. Virat Kohli has scored a string of half centuries. KL Rahul started at number 4. He's gone to the opening slot, and he's done well, provided that solidity again at the top of the order. India have made a few changes to their batting lineup, but they're clicking as a whole, much better placed as compared to the New Zealand batting lineup. When you talk about the bowling, which is the second aspect, of course, two really good attacks. New Zealand led by Trent Boult, who got a World Cup hat-trick, a second hat-trick, a second ODI hat-trick for him. Lockie Ferguson, such raw pace, such an impressive bowler. Mitchell Santner, he's been doing tricks with the ball. Tim Southee is there. Matt Henry is there, supporting them really well. And then there's Jimmy Neesham and Colin de Grandhomme, who've been performing the all-round role really well for New Zealand. From an Indian perspective, their bowling is perhaps the best in the tournament. Jasprit Bumrah, he's a class apart. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Mohammad Shami, they are in form at the moment. There's some doubt over the wrist spin combination at the moment. Will Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal, beg your pardon, they're a wrist spin pairing, aren't they? So will Kuldeep and Chahal play in this semi-final, or will it be Ravindra Jadeja coming in to partner with one of those two? Will Kedar Jadhav come back into the side? Although he hasn't bowled much in this tournament, but Hardik Pandya, what a revelation he has been in terms of fulfilling that bowling role, fifth bowler's role, being that bowling all-rounder that India needed in these conditions. So what is the third aspect? The third aspect comes down to Virat Kohli versus Kane Williamson. Back in 2008, when they were both under-19 cricketers, they were leading India and New Zealand respectively. And there was another semi-final, the under-19 World Cup semi-final in Malaysia. India won that semi-final, of course. India went on to win that under-19 World Cup in Virat Kohli's captaincy. And here we are, 11 years later, Kohli and Williamson leading their sides in the Senior World Cup this time around. Kohli hasn't had that impact on the tournament that you would expect him to. He's not been the linchpin of India's batting. That role has been fulfilled by Rohit Sharma, but he's led his side superbly. Kane Williamson, he's done both jobs. He's had to mind a batting lineup which is not scoring too many runs, has had to score their share of runs, and of course he's marshaled his bowling troops really well to make sure that his side does get to the semi-finals. It's going to be a very interesting clash between two very different personalities as captains, as batsmen, and it depends really who comes out on top, and that might just decide this semi-final clash as well. Well, there's no doubt that India will start as favourites in this semi-final, but the Black Caps have that nuance, have that quality which can be really, really surprising. When it's a semi-final clash, it's anybody's day. It could be Trent Boult's day if it is cloudy. It could be Rohit Sharma's day. It could be Virat Kohli's day. It could be anybody's day, anybody's game when it comes to a knockout clash. It is about that one day. New Zealand will definitely back themselves to trump India on this one day. It's going to be a sensational first semi-final.